Hi guys, good morning and happy Saturday. My name is Maes, and this is Being Civil in Minnesota. I'm a lawyer licensed to practice in the state of Minnesota, and I'm also a mediator. I like to come here Saturdays, usually around 10, to talk about family law issues that are impacting you and what the court system rules are and how you can understand the system and advocate for yourself. This does not make me your lawyer. I'm not giving you any legal advice. This is information and resources. I do come here every week. My episodes are posted now on YouTube under the channel Being Civil in Minnesota. If you have questions, you can post them in the Facebook group Being Civil in Minnesota. You can post them anonymously if you have concerns for your own safety, or you just want to ask for information without being identified. That's completely understandable. Today's episode, I want to make sure that you understand is should be a trigger warning. We're going to be talking about child sexual abuse. I had received a question from a member of Being Civil in Minnesota about what to do. And so the question was, or the background was, that this individual was involved in an abusive relationship. They have since fled that relationship out of safety concerns. They were not able to leave with the kiddo, and now the child is 5, and they have concerns that the child is being physically harmed and sexually abused. What do they do? Recognizing the signs of grooming, which is sort of a pre-indicator of child sexual abuse, are sexualized behaviors or desensitizing touch, getting at someone's trust, sharing of information, talking about sexualized things to sort of test the water. Recognizing that these signs can prevent childhood sexual abuse, and prevention is the most important thing that we can do to ensure that kiddos are safe. I am not an investigator. I am not a child psychologist. I have about 14 years experience working in only high conflict, well, not only, but largely high conflict cases, and cases involving allegations of physical abuse, sexual abuse, harassment, stalking. So there are some commonalities in these cases that I've seen, and they range from physical signs, behavioral, or emotional. So physical, emotional, behavioral. What are some of those things that I've seen? If the children are expressing sexualized topics, or perhaps expressing sexual ideas that may be beyond their maturity level, that could be concerning. Now, we do have a lot of things on the internet now. I think children are being exposed to a lot more at younger ages. So again, these are indicators, but not guarantees. Avoiding places or people, regressing with potty training if they're of a young age, or any kind of behaviors, baby talk, not being able to do some of the tasks or that they were previously able to do. Running away, self-harm. If the child is making statements that they want to self-harm, or that they intend to self-harm, or if you see that they are self-harming, that's a big indicator that something is going on. Emotional, low self-esteem, anxiety, depression, oversleeping, loss of appetite, overeating. Those can be indicators that they are not processing their, or able to regulate their emotions, and that something is out of whack. There are physical signs, injuries, soreness, walking, sitting issues. There can be itching, or infections or bruising. Not all of them you might be able to see, so just checking in with your kiddos and making sure that they know that you're a safe place for them and that they can come and talk to you. So that's kind of what to look for. And if you do have concerns that a child is being sexually abused, meaning that somebody is subjecting them to sexual contact against their will, maybe they have like an authority relationship, parent, coaches, anyone that's in sort of a authority level with the child. And this includes touching and the conduct that is prohibited from happening and how we protect children is under criminal statutes. So depending on the conduct, there are different kinds of crimes that could apply. What do you do if you suspect it? Stay calm, listen, reassure them that they're not in trouble, that they didn't do anything wrong, and thank them for telling you, right? There's oftentimes that a child will want to have told somebody a lot earlier. They just have been either threatened to not, don't desensitized so much that they don't know that the behavior is wrong. Do not ask leading questions like, so-and-so did this to you, didn't they? Let the child tell you what they want and then connect them with an expert who is trained in doing these interviews with children. You're going to need that anyway if potential criminal charges are going to be considered. So please let the professionals handle the interview. Report it. Some professions require mandated reporting. Obviously, I'm an attorney. Anything that my clients tell me is confidential. I'm not able to disclose that information. But there are professions like doctors, teachers, that are required if they suspect or they are told that a child is being subjected to sexual abuse, they will report that to Child Protective Services. In the United States, the Child Help National Child Abuse Hotline, I wanted to make sure I got that right. They are available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You can call them. They are a good resource. The number for that is 1-800 4, like the number, A, like the letter, child. 1-800-48-CHILD. So if you have additional questions, they would be a great resource. Seek professional help. A lot of my cases involve individuals sometimes who may share custody. And if the other parent is the person who is committing the child sexual abuse, they are not going to want the child to speak with a therapist or a counselor out of fear that they don't have control over that situation and what is said there. So you may get a pushback if you have to make medical decisions together from the other parent to get your child in to receive services and to process. And if they don't agree, then a court can decide. If you have substantial concerns and believe that therapy is necessary and will help your child, you can file an action in court and ask the judge to allow you to participate or have the child participate in therapy. Now, that doesn't mean the other parent is not going to try to sabotage that relationship or interfere with it, but at least they won't be able to prevent it from happening. Protect the child. That is what you can do. That may involve filing a restraining order, like I said, reporting it to law enforcement or Child Protective Services. A restraining order can prevent the other individual from having contact with the victim. And those are orders for protection. in the state of Minnesota. And if an individual commits criminal sexual misconduct, that is a basis to get one of those. And if you are not already working with an advocate, you should contact your region's local domestic abuse and sexual assault advocates and work with them. They have great insight and tools and resources to help families and victims process these kinds of situations. Don't confront the abuser yourself. Leave that to the professionals. Probably not safe for you, probably not safe for the kiddo. Want to make sure that they're not destroying evidence. And so it can be really important to let that process play out. So you suspect it, you've done things about it. What is a court going to do? How can the court, or what can a court do to help me? If you're involved in a custody action with the abuser, then a court is required to appoint something called a guardian ad litem. I recently just did an episode on guardian ad litem. So if you're thinking about asking the court for one, go ahead and take a look at that episode. The guardian ad litem would do a report and an investigation into the concerns that are being raised and issue a report for the judge. That report is going to have findings about whether or not those concerns, findings about the concerns, and then their recommendations to what to do about them. Evidence matters. So when a child is typically subject to sexual contact, it is not going to be in a very public way. And so the evidence may not be, I saw it, I heard it. It's because if that was the case, they would have been caught already. So if you have concerning text messages or photos or therapist notes or medical records, all of that can be helpful in the court assessing the concerns, law enforcement investigating them, or child protection making a determination as to whether or not the kiddo is in need of protection. Consult with an attorney. I think that it is important to know, at least for your specific fact scenario, what your options are. Many attorneys, myself included, offer free 30-minute consultations. And so you're not going to get legal advice during that, but you can ask questions and ask the attorney what your options are and what services they might be able to offer you to ensure that your kiddo is protected. If you're still listening, I really thank you for taking the time to talk about this. If you have questions, please put them in the chat. I would be happy to answer additional questions or provide additional resources. Child sexual abuse is often hidden, sometimes because of shame or guilt or fear or manipulation. Being observant and knowing the signs and taking action can be a life-altering intervention. And I would absolutely encourage you, if you believe that there is a child being sexually abused, to please report that to law enforcement. Thank you guys so much. I really appreciate you guys, and have a great rest of your Saturday. I will see you next week. Take care.